Moscow has spent a huge amount of effort and resources to build its own energy market in the West and use it as a political tool. To do this, the Kremlin has used everything: bribing Euro officials, significant discounts on resources, and the construction of a huge unprofitable network of pipelines. More than $100 billion was spent on the development of the Yamal field alone. This was presented to the Russian layman as national welfare, and now it's all going to waste.
A huge network of gas fields and pipelines developed at a cost of hundreds of billions of dollars since the first gas crossed the border into Austria in 1968 has been thrown away. From an analytic article by Bloomberg.
Until 2022, for up to half of all Russian energy export revenues accounted from the EU. Therefore, Europe's rejection of Russian oil and gas hit the Russian budget very hard. It was partially replaced by the sale of crude oil to India and China at a huge discount. But this does not cover all losses. The European Union also suffered. The energy blackmail of the Kremlin in the first months of the war against Ukraine created the risk of collapse for the economies of a number of countries, such as Germany, Austria, Finland, and others. In addition, rising energy prices triggered record inflation. However, due to a competent management, Europe is already coping with this problem.
This question has two sides. Energy prices have come down because temperatures have been mild and because there is enough gas at the moment, and so inflation goes down. On the other hand, we see that core inflation, that is inflation not related to energy and food prices, is rising. This means that inflationary pressures persist. But energy prices are of course very important, especially for companies. And the fact that they are declining naturally explains why companies are more optimistic. Also, we probably will not run into gas shortages anymore. This was the main economic risk, which is ruled out this winter in any case.
The energy crisis provoked by Moscow has also significantly accelerated the development of green energy in the EU. In 2022, renewable sources supplied a record 24% of all electricity needed for the European Union. Just like Europe, Ukraine is coping with the energy crisis too. The cohesion of society and the support of allies helped Ukrainian infrastructure to withstand constant Russian missile attacks. Thus, Western private companies will help with the restoration of the energy system in the areas affected by the shelling.
Mykolaiv region will become a pilot region for the implementation of the project under the Memorandum of Cooperation on Operational Planning and Restoration of Damaged Facilities of the Energy System of Ukraine, concluded between the Ministry of Energy and the International Energy Cluster in October last year. One of the stages of the project will be the transition to more modern, energy-efficient equipment. First of all, it is planned to use it in the territories most affected as a result of active hostilities. Ministry of Energy of Ukraine on Facebook.
Besides, many states regularly provide Ukraine with the equipment necessary for the functioning of the energy system. In the last 2 months alone, the allies have handed over to Kyiv about 13,000 generators of various capacities, according to Forbes. Reported by Diana Kolesnik, Danilo Kobza, UATV News.